Hey, what's up, everyone? It is Justin with Is It Scary Wisconsin, joined here tonight by my best friend Gage for another episode of If I Owned a Haunted House for a Day. Tonight's episode, Realm of Darkness. Huge shout out to the Realm of Darkness Haunted House in Kaukauna, Wisconsin, which, by the way, has officially announced, so this is not, going outside of what I'm allowed to talk about. They have officially announced that they have a new location for 2023 at, I believe it's the old Starlight Club, something like that in Kaukauna. So that is super, super exciting. Massive shout out to Dalton and Ben. You guys have made it. I am so happy for you guys. And Gage, these guys are younger than you and I. Well, of course they're younger than me because I'm old as dirt. But they're even younger than you, dude. And these guys are doing it. I am so happy for them.
They are definitely the future of this industry, that's for sure.
Yeah, I definitely think guys like Dalton and Ben are the future of the haunt industry, whether in Wisconsin or even around the U.S. People whose passion is palpable every time you walk into the haunt. Now, having said that, I do have some thoughts. Now, Gage, this episode is called If I Owned a Haunted House for a Day. And as such, if I owned the Realm of Darkness, if you owned the Realm of Darkness, we might try a few things, change a few things, do something the same, do something different. Let's jump in. Let's talk about it. This ain't a wham bam thank you ma'am 5-minute video. Get your popcorn, grab your beverage, strap in. It might get spicy. Realm of Darkness, if I owned a haunt for a day. Gage, your thoughts first of all, before we start, on the Realm of Darkness haunted house.
My thoughts, first of all, was I did not know that was public knowledge that they are moving into a new building.
Yeah, there's an internet article about it, so.
Okay, all right. We knew about that prior to it, which is one of the things I appreciate about them is sharing that information with us and trusting that information with us.
I mean, it's public knowledge at this point, so.
It is. So I'm glad because I wanted to bring something up about that. But now knowing that, I feel like a lot of the ideas that I actually just previously had kind of like was thrown away because they were actually for the old hunt, so for the old establishment. But no problem. I still have plenty of ideas that I would love to share with everyone.
Awesome. So right off the bat, let's talk about that. I'm going to call it kind of like the Midway area. They have their food vendor. I think they have a merch vendor, ticket vendor. They got a little bonfire. And previously, it was in the back parking lot at a bar. Now, at their new haunt location, I don't know what it's going to be like, but I assume it will be quite similar. I assume it will be along the same lines. So, for me, if I was booking that Midway area, I would have 1 to 2 scare actors roaming the line and weaving in and out dark corridors at all times. I would have some sort of actor-fueled entertainment, whether we had a plant in line that would be killed and dragged off randomly, whether it was a fire breather, whether it was a fire twirler, whether it was a magician, a clown. I would have some sort of actual entertainment, some sort of something for people to watch and engage with. Because as you and I have seen, outside of Fast Pass, sometimes the lines can get a little long. And this isn't just at Realm of Darkness. Everybody acts like, oh my God, I had to wait in line. Get used to it. You're going to wait in line at these haunted houses. Sometimes even Fast Pass lines can be 30 or 40 minutes.
Unless you pay the premium.
Yeah, well, even that sometimes they can take a while. So, I tell people all the time, you've got to have something to engage your customer. Otherwise, you have people getting complacent. They complain, they bitch and moan and whine, and that bleeds over into your haunt reviews when really the line wait has nothing to do with it. If people are waiting 2.5 hours in line for your haunted house, it means one of two things. You are not pacing the haunt correctly, or you are fucking busy. If it means the second, ignore all negative reviews. Seriously. Ignore all of those negative, I waited in line for 2-hour reviews. If you're that busy, good on you. People will wait. So, but you do want to have something to take the customer's mind off the fact that they are waiting in line. Magicians, clowns, kill scenes, public hangings, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to engage your customer with. Have something. That's why I like the food vendors. That's why I like the merch vendors. That's why I like the fact that the people at the front of the house taking tickets, letting you in, are in costume. That's why I like how they interact with the groups when the groups come up. Because some of those people have been waiting 2 hours. You know some of those groups have waited 2 hours to get up there. And by the time they get up there, they're like... And sometimes it just takes a nice little old lady dressed up as the nun from The Exorcist to crack a joke to make your night that much better. So that's how I would run the Midway area. I really wouldn't do much different than what they're doing now, except I would have some sort of entertainment at all times. Magician, clown, fire breather, kill scene, something. Gage, take it away, man.
You know, honestly, you already kind of took a few of my ideas, and we never even talked about it. The whole put a plant in there and have someone kill them and such like that. Or I was thinking, I don't know what this new establishment's going to look like. Whether it's going to be on a pavement surface, like a parking lot and such. I'm thinking, like, what about those people? I see at Green Bay Fear. I forgot the other haunt, but what they do is they drag their knees and their hands on the ground. You get a young
sliders. They're called sliders.
Exactly. So get some of that there. I feel like that's a great way. No, actually, I think they had that this year, didn't they?
They might have.
Last year? Well, whichever it is. It's still a great thing to add there, depending on the environment, of course. If you're in the grassy area, if you're in a foresty area,
throw a guy in a ghillie suit.
Exactly. And you know, why haven't we ever thought of the idea to make the line smoky? Not crazy smoky to where you can't see anyone, but to where you can't see below you. Because if you can't see below you, all I'm waiting for is someone working the line to come up and just go, you know,
well, you know,
scare the hell out of you.
And here's the thing about that, though. I think that works really good once you get into an indoor area. And the reason for that is if you're outdoors and you have any semblance of breeze whatsoever, that's going to ruin that whole illusion they're going for. So...
Oh, yeah.
That's a very situational thing, but that I wonder why we haven't seen that very much yet. Like
maybe
when you walk into Revenge's waiting area inside and it's all foggy and you can barely see anything during like the light show except for the lights. What a great spot for scares, dude. What a great opportunity to shit scare the line.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure there are some kind of like heavier mist that sticks more lower to the ground, and the reason why I bring that up is because if you can have something that's like stacked up, say sandbags, whatever, a little fence, a solid fence, and then you can also use this fence to direct the line. It's a fence that you can see because you would have glowing lights, say neon lights across the way, just guiding people's way.
Kind of like Green Bay Fear has on your way up to the Midway.
Exactly. So you can control that mist with that. I assume, I've never done it, and I'm no science expert, but if you got a heavy mist that can stick down there, I feel like it can be pulled off. It's at least worth a shot while you're planning for the next season. So I think that'll be a great addition to the Midway/waiting area.
Any other thoughts?
Other than some entertainers, which is a great idea. I love that. And some plants, man, like...
Especially on long wait times. Entertainment's really important.
some merch sides along the side. Never hurts to earn a few extra bucks with a few T-shirts or such like that. As you gave some information to previous haunts before, maybe during the colder time towards the end of the month when we're starting to pool into November, maybe have some sweaters available out there. Have someone walking around,
stocking caps,
going through the lines of stocking cap, the sweater, and be like, hey, we got these available. Like, walk up to people that look freaking cold.
Yeah.
And it's worth a shot. It's
actually, you know what I would do if I was going to have a merch stand at all? You know how they kind of had theirs off to the side, and they might have actually had it in their ticket booth. What I would do is I would have a separate merch stand, and I would have it right alongside when you're coming up to get into the haunt, when you're like second or third from the in line. I would have the merch stand right there. I would have it right there where you can see it right there, and you could say, hey, can I get a 2X t-shirt and a stocking cap? Like, I mean, that would be the place to hit people, because they're standing there, and it's what they're just standing there like, oh gosh, they have shirts and hats. Oh gee, well, I better
that
get
is
a
a great
stocking
way to
cap.
get them.
I mean,
while they're cold, while they're sitting there.
It's business 101 is what it is.
Yeah, it's like,
because,
what is it? It's like Disneyland pulling in smelly foods and make you hungry and stuff like that throughout the park.
It's like Festival Foods having a fresh bakery scent strip over its entrance doors.
Exactly.
Where when you walk in, the very first thing that hits you is the smell of fresh bakery. That's not actual fresh bakery you're smelling. That's a scent strip above the door. That's a real thing. It's real science.
So, hey, that can be used in any form of business. And haunted houses, why not use that system? I can totally see it being pulled off.
So, and then instead of walking through and buying your ticket, and that's the last time you see the merch, you stare at the merch the entire time you walk up.
While you're shivering, waiting in line and stuff like that.
Well, it's kind of like I told Tony and the crew over at Revenge. You're gonna have people standing outside. You guys know you're gonna be busy. The line's gonna bleed outside. Put 20 stocking caps, 20 large XL and 2XL t-shirts, and 20 mediums back there. Hang them up, slap a price tag on them. You're gonna sell them. And what did they do? They sold them.
It works. It definitely does.
It's just good. It's just smart business.
Good, smart business, and some great entertainment. Able to get that mist thing working out. If you guys do pull it off, I'm just gonna hold on.
I like how you say "if you guys." This isn't Ben and Dalton. This is if you own the haunt.
If you own the haunt. If I own the haunt, this is what I would do.
Yeah. Not them.
Ideas.
Not them.
Am I using the wrong?
If I own the haunt.
But anyways, that's what we would do if we owned the haunt.
If I owned the haunt, I would keep the two ladies at the front of the house. They're fantastic. I wouldn't change anything with the two ladies taking tickets.
They're as iconic as Mr. Jingles from Green Bay Fear.
Yep. They work good with getting groups together and not putting too many people through at once. And they do work the front of that house very well. And another thing I wouldn't change, I don't think I would change having spoons introduce you to the haunt. I like that they do that, and I like how they do it. I think I would be very certain that whatever I did with spoons each year was different.
Okay.
Was different. You know what I mean? We can relay that to the elevator. We can relay that to a sense of familiarity, but not repetition. Right? When I go through a haunt 2 years in a row, I don't want to feel like I'm going through the same haunt. Now, when we went through 2 years ago in 2021, it was the first time we'd ever gone. When we went through last year in 2022 and I heard Spoons' intro, not only did it feel different, but he also made it abundantly clear that they have made changes. I liked that. That was good. I wouldn't change any of that. I would just make absolutely certain that however I booked it and however we did it, it felt different every single time. Every year we did that intro would feel special to that year. 2021, 2022, 2023. Each year it would feel different. Gage, Spoons, intro.
Why would you change it? It is.
I don't know why you would.
Exactly. It's iconic. If I owned this haunt for a day, I wouldn't change it. Maybe make
I'd
it.
probably pay him more. Whatever he's getting paid, I'd probably pay him a little more because he's awesome.
I don't see any reason why to change it. I would like stick the way it is.
Yeah. Cool. Elevator.
Elevator, that's iconic. You're gonna need to have it, and knowing that this is a new establishment is making me think: are they just gonna move it there, or are they gonna redo it? Are they gonna make a new one?
So,
we don't know.
What I think is they're gonna come up with well, I don't care about that. This isn't a prediction video. What I would do, because now we're in a new location, right? So there's gonna be code they have to follow. There's gonna be all kinds of different stuff that they have to follow. Now that this is like their location. I don't know if they own it, if they're renting it, what they're doing. But some things they'll do, some things that I would want to do will have to be proper to code. And I don't know if you can throw people on top of a hydraulic lift. I've always thought that was really cool. And I love the concept of that feeling of, oh, you're actually moving. I might change it. I might say you're being shipped to a different location. You're being brought to a different location and make it seem like people are being packed up into like a shipping container and then raised up, loaded on, make some sounds, blah, blah, blah. You're going to have to break out through that door and then like have a light come on and have a lever they have to hit, and maybe they pull the lever and the door comes open and actors come running in with chainsaws and taser wands.
You're still bringing that up.
I'm
you
big.
Brought that up for
you know,
the past 2 years.
I'm big on that, dude, because when they did it, did you see how good it was? And we knew it was coming. We knew they were going to do it.
That's what I love about them is that they listen too.
Dude,
they definitely listen.
Dude, if you miss that opportunity, you fail as a haunted house. That is the most obvious opportunity for a scare. Whether it's the elevator, whether it's what I would do, whatever it is, right? However you want to introduce people to your haunt, doesn't matter. If you miss that first room opportunity, you fail as a haunt. Because your first room sets the pace for the rest of your haunt. Does the first room have to be like the Splatterhouse was, or the Slaughterhouse, whatever it was, where you go into the room and the lights come up and the pig butcher's drilling and carving on the table right in front of you and trying to get to you and he's all chained up? No, it doesn't have to be that. But if you miss an opportunity in that first room, that's the customer's first impression of your haunt. You failed. Close, send the people home, and don't waste their time. You have failed. When I came through it last year, and that lady came around that corner, hi! And made you jump, I was giddy. I was so happy because I saw Dalton and Ben's evolution as haunters. It was awesome. It was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. And that's why I was so just blown away this last year. So if I was booking it, I would pack my customers into a shipping container. Shake them around a little bit, whatever. You know, give them the old burial chamber treatment. Shake them around a little bit. Have some noise. Make them break out of the container. And when they got into that first room, I'd hit them with the scare, point blank, right away. Gage. Elevator, entrance, first room, first thought, first impression, do it.
I want to go ahead. I want to add something onto yours, and then I'm going to touch on mine. What if there's something at the end that you have to break to get through? Now, this can be either a paper. It isn't obviously got to be. Now, I know safety things. I'm just saying, if they didn't have to worry about code here, what if they could either break some kind of like a soft glass, if there is such thing, or like break through paper? They gotta, because you say break out, and that gives me the idea. Like, what if they actually had to break out of there? At some certain point, some kind of thing drops in to make them break out and such. I don't know. It's just just that was just a random spur of the moment idea that just popped in my head.
I think if your haunt was being booked as like a super interactive haunt, you could get away with that. But I feel like you're in a situation
Or
where
someone can get hurt.
yeah, and you have so many customers coming through, adults and children. How would you reset that? That would get really expensive. Your ticket price would have to be like $50 a pop.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. If it's a paper thing, because you can have like a paper thing where you pull, and then you can just keep pulling it every time, and then tape it on this side.
Yeah, but who's gonna do that though? In between every
The person on the end, yeah, on the person that runs in and scares, like, hey, like something like that. I don't know. I'm sure they can figure something out there.
And then, so what they could do, they have the big roll behind the door. They pull the paper down, you know, and maybe they tuck it in or something. And then right before the people get in the elevator, they just slit a little line with their box cutter. And then they grab it and they slowly tear it down after the ride. They're like, "Welcome to hell."
Something like that, yeah.
Ooh, it could be good. And then they have to tear through that paper, rip that paper out of there to get through.
Right.
That would be, come on, that could be good. I mean,
So,
it could be. It could be if it was executed properly. It does.
It has potential.
Or some semblance of something like that. Or what if they did what like Revenge did, and they just loaded a shit ton of spiderweb up there?
Another thing too is that with this, because you can tell if you're gonna see paper against like whatever kind of elevator or hydraulic thing they have. What if they just tone down the lights and maybe have it like flashing lights, stuff like that, and it have like colorful lights go on, so you can't really make do of what's going on around you.
Disorienting.
So then, exactly, it disorients you. That way, whenever they pull or something like that, if it's already pulled to begin with between the group before they even head in, they wouldn't be able to tell. Maybe, obviously, if you go through the second time, you would notice it. But
I like that.
just saying. But
yeah, lighting is important.
Lighting is important.
Lighting illusions are so important. You know, it's funny that we get talking about this because one thing that they did really well this last year that I wanted to touch on, and I think I would use if this was my haunt for a day, is that fog door, that Dark Souls like fog door that they did. Remember that?
Yep.
Where you like walked through it. I would almost put that right on the other side of my first room. Really cool.
For my elevator idea, though, the Hellevator, I like their whole interactive thing, and that's what I love about Realm. And I'm sure I said in my plenty of reviews, but this is a review video.
It's good.
They're interactive.
Yeah, it's good.
And that's what's great. So another thing I could think of maybe to throw on there is that maybe in this Hellevator, you will fall to your death within 10 seconds if you don't find the button to press. And then, as they say, you got like the Saw voice. They'll have spoons.
Yeah.
And then, now find the button. And as you do this, there's like 30 or 40 or 50 different button lights that appear all around the elevator. And you have to press the right one. And maybe some of them have Easter eggs. Some of them actually is the right one to do. But, you know, inevitably, you're not going to find the right one within 50, no matter how many people you do. So they can even come to a point where they do this. You know, where people want to.
And what they have is I would have cameras in there watching people, and I would get the scare cams, and then the lift would just boom drop them all of a sudden. That would be good, dude. That's good. That's good, man.
That idea, just to have them, and like, because that makes them think, hey, we have a chance. Maybe we can survive this thing and such. Nope, drops them. And then maybe they tear up something, or maybe then the door opens and then you got someone. Hello. Yeah. So no. That's my elevator idea, is to, if I could own the haunt for a day, that's what I would do.
All right. I'm going to cover the rest of the haunt in this segment here. If I own the haunt,
suck.
If I own the haunt for a day, the rest of the haunted house. So my big pet peeve with Realm of Darkness, I know, I actually have criticisms for it. I can't believe it. Oh my God. My biggest pet peeve with Realm of Darkness is some of their rooms and some of their stuff is so good. Right? The elevator, the maze, the dude that was chained up, that the lights flickered and you could barely see him and he came running out of the shadows at us. Holy fuck, dude. It was so good. Then there's some rooms that feels like it's just a waste of
It was
time.
filler. It was filler.
Yeah, and it's not even scary. So, and here's the thing, dude. Realm of Darkness is one of my best rated haunts. And the whole house isn't even as good as it can be. Now, you can get mad at me for being that critical and for saying that. I'm sure Dalton and Ben will watch this and go, that son of a bitch. It's one of my highest rated haunts. And only probably half the house is actually scary. So what does that say about the possibilities at Realm of Darkness? A lot. Almost infinite. So if I owned Realm of Darkness for a day, I would make certain that every single room, doesn't matter if you want a Christmas theme, doesn't matter if you want a doctor theme. I love what they did with the Dark Maze. I thought that was exceptional. It doesn't matter if you want a Valentine theme, if you want a slasher theme, if you want a demon theme, a clown theme, which I saw they added. I don't care. I would make certain every single room that I had in that haunt had scares maximized no matter what. I would not base my haunt's scariness around whether or not the actors that showed up to work that night were good in the positions they were put in. I would make certain. Now, I'm not the haunt owner. That's not my job.
You're only owning it for a day.
I only own it for a day. But if I did, that haunt would not open unless every room not only had a point, but also had an intended and executable scare.
So, do you have any room ideas?
If I want an aesthetically pleasing haunted house, which, by the way, Realm of Darkness is a very aesthetically pleasing haunted house. It's so, the production values are insane for being a homemade haunt and for basically being done by two guys. The haunt is gorgeous. If I want an aesthetically pleasing haunt that maybe doesn't focus as heavily on scares, I'll go to Terror on the Fox. You can just hear the people in the background, oh, like you can hear them. I don't care. I'll go to Terror on the Fox if I want aesthetics. I go to these other haunts to get scared. That's what I want. Do I have any room ideas? Yeah. I was watching a movie called Haunt the other night. I recommend everybody watch it. It's actually really good. And here's my idea. Just like they used to, you lock people in a coffin, in a room, in a cage. And just like they used to say, you say, now deploying spiders. And you have a little hopper drop grains of rice all over people. You will scare the fucking shit out of people with that. You're welcome. I said it 2 years ago and I'm saying it again now. I still think it's a wasted opportunity. You have the materials to do it. You have the gear to do it. You have the room set to do it still. And that's fine that you didn't do it. You did plenty of other cool things this last year. I would drop a hopper full of rice on people and scare the absolute shit out of them. I don't care. People want to be scared. People talk about, oh, I want a haunt that makes me piss my pants. I'd sprinkle a hopper full of long grain rice on them with now deploying spiders playing right before that. Oh, Christ. You would have freaked me out. And I know you're not going to put real spiders on me. You would have freaked me out. Go ahead, Gage.
So room ideas, it is funny because I wanted to keep the whole decontamination chamber room idea. I love that idea. The thing is, they need to expand upon it.
It was
What
one
I
of their
mean by
best rooms that they didn't bring back in 2022. That would I would say was the biggest disappointment for me this last year with them.
Because I love the idea of being separated. No haunts really do that anymore. They don't separate you. They
Nope.
keep you in a group. What they need to do is have the decontamination rooms again, and when they separate you,
Hold on,
they need to.
hold on. What they need to do, or is that what you would do?
What I need to do, what I would do, what I would do is if I was doing a decontamination room, I would have like at least 5 feet worth of just like a two walls, just like a foot by foot to you walk this way, and then as you're walking in there, it's nothing but mist and smoke and everything like that. So from each chamber, you're walking forward, you're walking forward, you're walking forward. Maybe one might curve a little bit. The reason why I bring this up is because you really don't need an actor for this. The why I put it this way is because if you have hanging bodies, if you have it being misty and smoky as if you're entering a ice chamber of a sort, and you have these people walking by forward, they could scare each other accidentally, if not intentionally, if they caught on what's going on. I think that would be a great way to kind of make it, I wouldn't say a choose your own because it's literally just a linear path, but it's more of a
It feels like it a little bit, though.
it feels like it. And if you can give that illusion, then you've done the right job. If you can go in there and have them scare each other, if not be like, oh shit, Justin, wow, like I didn't know you were right beside me here. That I think that would be really cool. Maybe if like to throw them off a little bit, maybe have that decontamination room. You can go in the left doors, you can go in the right doors, and then you converge forward into a smoky room. Again, you could the customers scare one another, or maybe have an actor scare someone. Whatever you want to do, whatever I want to do, I'll do what I want to do at that moment. But yeah, that's what I would do for room number 1. That's my most grandiose room, by the way. The other ones are kind of just spur of the moment things that I thought of. A second room I want to do some lights. I want to do a neon. Think of it like a rave. You're gonna have a rave, and you have that. I don't know how to explain it, but you know that like 80s, 70s aesthetic,
Yeah.
where it's like pink, and then it's just like a big sun. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
I'd have to honestly get a picture to show. But what I'm trying to get at is like just have a nice neon room and such, a well lit one.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm saying this is because you can hide actors in neon lit rooms so well. Whether you have fake props that look like actors, whether you have masks hanging, because I know Green Bay Fear did that. You can hide actors so well in there. And what I'm trying to get at is what you can do is you can have an actor with two sides. One side being nothing but neon, and the other side being just like it would blend in. It's a completely black surface. So what you could do is you can have one actor hug a wall like this, showing one side that you can't see, and then you think you're done walking through this neon party. You're like, wow, no one was in there. That was stupid. And as soon as this person turns around, they show their other side, and it's this big bright red figure right in front of them.
Yeah.
I think that would be a pretty cool idea.
Like almost like a chameleon wall, sort of.
A chameleon wall, yeah. Or maybe have someone blend in, maybe with makeup to make them look exactly identical to it. Like something like that. I think that would be a great scare. It makes it think, oh, this was just a filler room. Nope.
Yeah.
Because as you said, you need rooms with purpose to have a purposeful scare.
Yeah.
That's that purposeful scare.
I remember when I went to Green Bay Fear. This was a long time ago. And they had like smoke in the room, fog in the room, clanking chains, and swinging masks. And a couple actors were wearing the masks that were swinging. And it creeped the shit out of me. Well, I was also way more scared than that I am now. Now I would just walk right through the room and be like, there you are, there you are, there you are. But like I was legitimately terrified of this stuff still. And I remember how cool of an illusion that was. And they could do a lot with that, especially knowing Dalton and Ben. So I think, Yeah, if I was running the haunt, I think I would second what you're saying, and I would try to do something like that with lighting. That's smart. It's really smart. Any other ideas for rooms, Gage?
Yeah. I want to pull the whole it thing. You know, when they did terrifying, scary, not scary. What they should have is very scary, little scary, and is it scary for a walled. I had to throw it in there, but I think that'd be cute as shit. And I'm just saying, because if I own this haunt, this is what I would do.
You would
I
self
would
promote.
have-
You would self promote
I would
and hemorrhage. Would you
self-promote.
hemorrhage the business and self promote?
Yes, yes. But the thing is, like, because, you know, you open the door, you're going to have maybe one actor behind there. You have the open the door, there's nothing. Maybe it's just darkness. The other one is a way to progress. I just think that would be a nice little way to make people stop, give the person ahead them some room, or the person, like, it clogs the flow in a good way if you can make the flow. That's where I feel as if these decontamination rooms, the elevator and this room, is just a great way to kind of keep people pacing. Because Justin and I,
they're flow control rooms. You do
exactly,
realize that, right?
We walk fast. We're walking.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, even with AFib, you and I are catching every one of them groups.
Exactly, and it drives us nuts. So I think this is a great way to keep it flow, keep it diverted, and while also pulling in on the thought that this is a interactive haunt. Because I think you guys should, Dalton and Ben, I actually know this is my haunt. I think I should portray this haunt as an interactive haunt. Because not a lot of haunts are like that. It's all linear.
You know, dude, even if it is linear, you can give it the illusion that it isn't by having cleverly designed rooms.
Correct. Oh yeah, and I mean a lot of haunts do that so well. I'd like haunts we've been through before, like Revenge, and I think I wouldn't say I keep forgetting. Is it Dominion of Terror?
The one in Sheboygan, yeah.
Sheboygan, yeah. It just they were just so well done. You can give out the illusion it's not linear. So I feel like just make it interactive enough to give off the illusion that it is a choose your own adventure. When in reality, it's linear, and that's pretty much 99% of the choose your own video games that come out, because they portray to you like this is your own adventure. You do what you want. Nope, you still get the same ending.
Nope, she still dies.
Yep. Yes, she still died. Final Fantasy, just it always ends up in the same way. So just give that illusion, all right?
Yeah.
I think that's a great way.
Well, I think the illusion of choice is something that has fascinated human beings for a long time. And in haunted houses, I think the illusion of choice is a really cool thing to have, because it turns a seemingly linear adventure into, oh, hold on a second, I didn't get to do this last time. Let me use this door.
By the way, if I did own this haunted house for a day, at behind the Is It Scary door, it'll be a clip of Justin and Gage going, and sorry,
so dumb, dude.
So that's my 3 room ideas that I would do for a haunt. Now,
would you keep them? Would you keep the maze at the end, or would you get rid of that maze?
I was going to touch on that. The maze.
Let's talk about it.
That's just as signature as a elevator, and it's just as signature as spoons, and just the 2 gals up front. It is a need. You need this maze, and it just again, I think.
Do we really though?
Yes,
or should we just fire all the actors in there and get rid of it?
No. Yes, we need this, because think about it.
Do we though?
We talked to Dalton and Ben, and I'm thinking if I own this haunt, I would have people like just stalker monsters, like creepy no-eyed monsters that just watch you, wave at you behind corners and stuff like that, like come here and stuff, kind of like what Julius and the crew does at Green Bay Fear. I would have that in my little maze, and it's not maybe and then the very last the way to get done with the maze, where you walk out into the end of the haunt, that's where the jump scare will be. But 90% of the time, it's nothing but creepy eeriness, because I love eeriness.
You know, the maze isn't that scary. The maze actually isn't scary at all.
It isn't. You just
it's the fact that you can't see shit in there that makes it so scary. And the reason is because darkness hides possibilities. And you know you're in a haunted house setting. So you know anything can happen. But realistically, we weren't like jump scared by anybody in that maze. They were actually laughing at us the whole time.
I scared more people than I got scared by
But the,
actors
but
the
the,
entire
the,
time.
the point I'm making
Which
to
is
you,
great.
but the point I'm making to you is the maze is not scary.
It's eerie.
You, as a customer, make the maze scary, right? We make the maze scary by thinking, could there be an actor around that corner waiting to get me? Oh, it could be. That's why the maze is so good, is because it isn't even scary and it's dicking with people's heads. That's why it's so good. What about it?
Definitely.
What about it? Do we keep the rat?
Do we keep the rat?
Yeah.
I think that should be part of the maze.
Yeah, me too.
That should be part of the maze. That should be the big scare, and it already actually is. Now that I think about it, but like I said, you keep creepy.
I think
people
it should.
masked
I think it
stalking
should.
you.
I think it should be less obvious. The last scare.
It should be less obvious because I remember us going in that room being like, "What is this?" And we know it's coming. And but you got to understand though, that's probably because you don't want some stupid drunk to walk right in front of it and get hit.
Well, they had that. They already had that happen.
Exactly. So I think that's why they make it a little obvious that, hey, look at this. What is this?
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
I think that's why they do that.
Yeah, I don't think I would change that. Then I think I would keep it the way they already have it. I think that's smart.
That is my ideas for my haunted house.
And I think as people walked out of Realm of Darkness, if there's a group of 3, I would hit one of them with a bat as they came around the corner.
Wait, that would be a good plan to have someone walk out
and just get fucking smoked.
They just drag him. You got people pulling out their phone. Should I call the cops? Was that real?
Yeah, just
what was that?
Have yeah. Like that's the one thing that extreme haunts do so well is they'll have a kill scene and you're not sure if you should call the police or not. That's what I would have.
That would be hilarious. If you could see people walking out of the haunt, that would be ideal.
Yeah. And just get cracked by a prop. Obviously, you're not going to kill somebody. But I mean,
like those fake glass bottles where it's not glass.
Or like he'd come out and like crack him over the head with it. The guy would know it's coming. It would be all planned ahead of time, and he would just wrap him with it and shatter it over him, scream at him, and grab him and drag him right back in. Like,
that's what I feel.
That's the kind of shit I would do, and I would make sure I had people that could execute that safely.
That's why I feel as if you're selling the tickets or if you have a video playing while people are waiting in line and such, don't believe what you see, something like that. Like portray, welcome to the realm of darkness. Everything is uncertain. Do not believe your eyes. Just believe your guts or something.
Another thing I would do if I ran the haunt for a day is I would do preseason promotional videos. If they don't already, I would do more of it. Especially going into a new location like this. I was like, what if we went to break into the Realm of Darkness and found a note saying that they've moved to a new location, and we went to the new location. What if like Spoons and like another actor kidnapped us and like tortured us or some shit? Like, what a cool promotional video. Like we went to break into Realm of Darkness to steal their secrets. Kind of remember when we stole the secrets from Scare USA? We went to break into Realm of Darkness to steal their secrets. Realm of Darkness has moved to da-da-da-da-da. And then we go there and we cut a chain and we break in, and Spoons and another actor would like kidnap us and tie us up, and like the promotional video would end with them like revving a chainsaw and being like, well, guess you shouldn't have gotten caught. And then blood splatters on the screen. Realm of Darkness 2023. I was thinking about that today.
That totally goes for any haunt out there. Feel free to use us as promotion, because if you give us a call or shoot us an email, we'll be there if you need us.
Yeah, and guys, remember, there's merch links in the description. I'm Justin with Is It Scary Wisconsin, and this is how I myself, and of course, my best friend Gage, would run Realm of Darkness if we owned the haunt for a day. And honestly, there's maybe a few things we would change, but at the end of the day, it's a pretty banging haunt, and honestly, one of my hottest predictions for one of my hottest excitements for 2023's haunt season is the Realm of Darkness and Kakana, especially at their new location. Knowing Dalton and knowing Ben like I do, I think these guys are going to knock it out of the park, and I'm really excited to see what they do. That being said, merch links in the description. Like the video if you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Is It Scary Wisconsin. Follow us on TikTok, where we don't do content, even if Gage tries to tell you we do. Is It Scary_Wisconsin. And we'll see you right here next time. But Gage, before we go, the viewers want to know one thing.
Is it scary, Wisconsin?